Hi everyone. I'm Dr. Richard O'Connor. I work as an anesthesiologist here in Helena, Montana at St. Peter's Hospital. And although I never thought that I'd be making a YouTube video, I find myself compelled to do so. Recently, on August the 23rd of this year, my friend and co-worker, Dr. Jesse A. Marcel, passed away. And because I knew Dr. Marcel well and worked with him here at the hospital, at St. Peter's Hospital, for a number of years, and considered him a friend, I felt that it was important that I share with you my insights about Dr. Marcel, and specifically as it relates to the important story that he has been telling the world now for as long as I knew him, about the incident that occurred in 1947 outside of Roswell, New Mexico, when a UFO crashed into the desert and his father went out to investigate the crash site. As many of you, I'm sure, have heard the story, Dr. Marcel's father, Jesse A. Marcel Sr., was assigned to go out there and check out this crash site. He did so. He brought home some debris from that crash. He woke up his son, my friend, Dr. Jesse A. Marcel Jr., who was 11 years old at the time, spread this material out on the kitchen floor, told him, I want you to take a look at this because you're probably never going to see anything like this again. And at that time he stated that this was from a flying saucer and that it was not from this world, not of human manufacture. So Dr. Marcel has gone around the world, really, to many different countries. He's been on a number of different television documentaries telling the world about this. And, you know, I want everyone to know that this man was a very credible person. He was an exemplary physician. He was kind. He was generous. He took very good care of his patients. He did good work. And he was a very humble individual who I know didn't go around talking about this for fame or fortune. He did this because he felt an obligation to share this information with the world. I talked with Dr. Marcel about that incident specifically and about the UFO subject in general on many occasions. And because I know this man, I know that he would not carry on with a lie about what happened. I can only conclude, based on what I know about Dr. Marcel, that his story was in fact what happened. So, if it were just Dr. Marcel that had told me this, I would probably believe it, but I probably wouldn't feel quite so compelled to go out and make a YouTube video about this. However, it's not just Dr. Marcel that's been telling the world about the Roswell event and that it was, in fact, a UFO. Dr. Edgar Mitchell, who was an Apollo 14 astronaut, who walked on the moon, who our government trusted to man a lunar mission, has also stated that he's spoken with people in the highest echelons of the U.S. military and U.S. intelligence agencies who told him that the Roswell event was in fact a UFO crash. astronaut Gordon Cooper, who was a Mercury in the Mercury space program, who solo orbited the Earth 22 times, and who came back as an American hero to a ticker tape parade in New York City, has stated that when he was flying military jets for the U.S. Air Force, that they encountered UFOs. He also stated that while stationed at Edwards Air Force Base and testing out a theodolite used for filming precision landings at Edwards, that the film crew filmed a UFO which landed on a dry lake bed there and then took off again. Gordon Cooper said that he saw the film. He said it was good film. It showed clearly what the cinema team there had described to him that they had personally witnessed. He took that film, he put it in a pouch and sent it off to the Pentagon. He never saw it again. So the Pentagon knows this. We also have recently CIA agent Chase Brandon, who I believe it was on Coast to Coast Radio, stated that while he was at Langley headquarters in the Historical Intelligence Vault or Library, he came across a box that was labeled Roswell. He opened the box, and in the box he found photographs and other materials that corroborated for him and validated that the Roswell event was in fact a crashed UFO, which he stated was that there were cadavers that were found at the crash site. Cadavers of extraterrestrial, non-human beings. We have multiple now Freedom of Information Act documents that attest to the reality that UFOs are real, they're not from here, and they're operating in our atmosphere. Last April, I was having dinner with Dr. Marcel, and I mentioned to him about something called the Citizens Hearing on Disclosure, which was to take place in Washington, D.C. He told me that he had been invited to speak there as one of the witnesses and suggested that I should go along. So I did that. I bought a plane ticket. I went with Dr. Marcel to Washington, to the National Press Club, and I listened to him and 39 other witnesses who were retired U.S. military, retired military from other countries, individuals who were officials in the FAA, UFO researchers, a wide variety of very credible people who told of their firsthand experiences with UFOs. There were 6 previous members of Congress there listening, and it was a remarkable event. The things that we heard there were truly eye-opening. But I would say not alarming. One of the individuals was a Peruvian Air Force pilot. I have here a affidavit from him, signed by him in front of me, that speaks about his UFO encounter where he fired many rounds, I believe it was 30 rounds of 33 millimeter missiles at this object that was directly in front of him and had no effect on it whatsoever. So, you know, these people that were there were trusted with flying these, you know, million-dollar aircraft, multi-million-dollar aircraft, missions to the moon. there's just no way that all of these people are lying or mistaken about this, and there's no way that Dr. Marcel would have been lying to me about this for over the 25 years that I've known him. The UFO phenomenon is real, and it is time that our world come to terms with this. People always ask, if our military knows about this, why would they have lied to us? Why would they have covered this up for so long? I suspect that the reasons for that were good reasons initially, and those reasons have very likely evolved over time. I'm not going to speculate about why we've been misled about this, but there's no question in my mind that that is the case. We have been misled about this. Given my friendship with Dr. Marcel, I just feel I can say with confidence that the UFO phenomenon is real, and we need to be told the truth about this. The world needs to be told the truth. Recently, I've noticed that there seems to be more and more and more information coming out about this, and that's good. But the world's never going to respond to this appropriately until they hear an announcement from government officials. President Obama would be a good candidate. The Joint Chiefs of Staff standing there behind him. And tell the world the truth about this so that we can get on with coming to terms with it first, and then starting to delve into what's known about this and how might our civilization benefit from a mutually beneficial and peaceful relationship with these visitors who are coming here. It's quite likely that we do not need to, reinvent the wheel. It's apparent that the wheel has already been invented by these civilizations that are coming here in this advanced machinery. They're obviously very intelligent, very capable, and they have some agenda that we should be informed about. There's so many ways that our civilization might be able to benefit from a relationship with these people if we could just open our minds to this and find out, maybe some of the extremely grave problems that our civilization faces today with global climate change could be mitigated by energy technologies that we might be able to come to a better understanding of as a result of a relationship with these beings. Transportation technologies could improve. Medical technologies. Perhaps we might be exposed to other ideas about other social systems or economic systems that would be of benefit at this time. So, my feelings, my recommendations about what needs to happen here is the U.S. military needs to come out and tell the world the truth about this, number one. Number two, as citizens, we need to get involved in this discussion. We need to educate ourselves. And I invite each one of you who's listening to this to come to the Jesse A. Marcel Library Tuesday evenings from 7 to 10 p.m. and share with us any information that you may have about UFOs and listen to what other people know. I would encourage everyone to go to www.citizenshearing.org, and if you are able, make a donation that will help Stephen Bassett finish the project of getting this video DVD put together of the witness testimony that took place over 5 days in front of 6 people, previous members of Congress, of these incredible revelations that took place there. Write to your congressman. Tell them to pay attention to this. This is important. And we all need to begin to think about how we're going to integrate this new reality into our own worldview, into our religious beliefs, how we're going to respond as far as our government is concerned, what kind of changes might need to be made that can prevent another cover-up of important information that is withheld from the people. There is very likely some changes that need to be made in our relationship with our government and our military so that we can stay more informed about these profound realities. And to scientists around the world in our universities, I encourage you to consider, what I've said here, what many, many others have said. It's time for people to start going out on a limb about this and demanding some answers. Imagine, what sort of rapid progress our science may be able to realize as a result of acknowledging the truth of this and then starting to investigate where these people are coming from, how they're getting here. Is faster than light travel possible? Are these beings coming from other dimensions? There's just so many questions and very few answers that are being offered up at this point. So I encourage those of you that are involved in science and space exploration, cosmologists, those involved in astrophysics, to realize that this UFO reality is worth investigating, and it's worth posing some hard questions to people from Congress, to the President, to the Joint Chiefs, and to anyone who may be harboring information about this. That's basically all I have to say, and I thank each one of you for taking the time to listen to this. Please get on board with this, and let's see what we can all do to bring out the truth. Thank you.